You're watching Chicago Bears Now. I'm your host, Harrison Graham. It is time for a mailbag, so hashtag Bears Super Chat. We'll get to as many questions as we can. Let's get this thing started with Michael Ortman, who sent a super chat. Appreciate that. Let's trade Nagy, Foles, and a fifth-round pick for Sean Payton. Well, they ain't taking Matt Nagy, but Foles in a fifth, I would do that without even thinking twice. I don't know if the Saints would do that. So basically how this works is coaches who are under contract, if you want to hire them, head coaches I should say, you either have to trade for them or that coach and that team have to come to an agreement to cut the contract, which maybe the Saints would do Sean Payton a favor if he really wanted to go to Chicago because he's done so much for that franchise, but they don't have to hold him, or they don't have to do that. They have him under contract. They can say, no, you're coaching here. We're going to trade you and get assets for you. So we'll see what shakes out, but I would love to see it, man. I would love to see Sean Payton, who grew up in the suburbs of Chicago, come home and coach the Bears. Let's see, Michael Warr, great Jenkins performance last Sunday. It's really hard because the penalties, and a couple of them are really bad penalties, that is in the bad category, right? But getting thrown into that situation early on in that game, there were some good blocking techniques at times. I'm going to give it like a C. I mean, there were some really good, some really bad. It looked like a rookie tackle playing in his first game. That's what it looked like. But you saw the talent. You saw the strength. I thought he held up fairly well against some really good pass rushers. Preston Smith in the mix, of course. So C, mixed bag. I think there's room to grow, obviously, but not the worst debut I've ever seen. The penalties were a problem, but otherwise, I actually thought he fared fairly well. Vintage Bears fan. Would you take Mac Jones over Fields now? Honestly, no, I wouldn't. I would not take Mac Jones over Justin Fields for a few reasons. Number one, I think the coaching in New England is just so much better than what it is in Chicago that it's naive to just assume that Mac Jones is a better player. Producer Jack is a Patriots fan, and he's like, yeah, I mean, look, our coaching's better. What do you want me to say? Like, yeah, it's better. Now, it's possible Mac Jones has a better career than Fields. It's possible he ends up being a better quarterback. I'm just saying, for us to sit here and say 12, 13 games in, Mac Jones clearly the better quarterback than Fields. Look at the numbers. Look at the wins and losses. It's just, guys, like, put Mac Jones in Matt Nagy's system with this team. They're not better than what they are. If anything, they're worse, in my opinion. I don't see it. I like Mac Jones. I liked him coming into the draft. Remember, I told you guys, if he's there at 20, go draft him. Now, obviously, the Bears traded up, and Mac Jones would not have fallen to 20, but if he was there and they didn't trade, that would have been a home run pick at 20. But getting Fields at 11, I still think is a very, very good pick. Bye, Nags. Should Chicago go after Stephon Gilmore or J.C. Jackson in free agency? So, obviously, you guys have been asking a lot about the cornerback position because, my goodness, it's just been bad after Jalen Johnson, who actually held his own against Devontae Adams. I initially thought he played somewhat poorly in that game, but after reviewing things, they moved Adams around a lot to avoid Jalen Johnson. That's a kudos to him. But you got to get another corner. Gilmore and Jackson, great players. Gilmore's obviously older. Jackson's been tremendous this year. He's going to cost a lot of money. The fact that the Patriots' second round tendered him and no one took him for a second, teams are regretting that. Trust me on that one. But who would you rather pick? Type SG for Stephon Gilmore. Type JC for JC Jackson. I'm good with either, man. Just give me another corner opposite of Jalen Johnson. We'll make this the pinned comment on this video. SG for Gilmore or JC for JC Jackson. Charlie Choco Factory. Needs in the draft. Biggest need in the draft. It depends what happens in free agency, of course. I'll just say biggest need, period. In no order. Center, cornerback, and honestly, linebackers getting up there for me. After Roquan, these linebackers suck. Ogletree ain't the answer. Paying Trevathan was bad. I think they're going to cut him, and they're going to eat more dead money. I think receivers right there because Darnell Mooney's the only decent one you have under contract next year. So, yeah, receiver, center, linebacker, corner, those are all needs. And there's other needs, too. You could use more defensive linemen. You could use another safety. You could use a guard or a tackle. I mean, there's there's a lot of needs on this roster right Now, something that's not going to be a need in the draft is quarterback, because I think Justin Fields is going to be the answer. And even if he's not long-term, well, you can get his jersey, and you should get his jersey. Chatsports.com/FieldsJersey. That is chatsports.com/FieldsJersey. It's only $90. It's not a question. It's $90. Chatsports.com/FieldsJersey. We'll put that link in the comments, the description. You guys can click and shop today. Mark Canning, best rising star on this team, not named Darnell Mooney. Rising star. I mean, I'm still going to go Fields. I mean, he was pressured 55% of the time against the Packers. Imagine if, like, how much he's improved, and he only took 2 sacks. Imagine the improvement from the Browns game to that game. Browns game, he took 9 sacks, and I think he had less pressure rate. So he's making quicker decisions. He's evading the pocket when he needs to. The brain's moving faster. When quarterbacks start playing, the brain, like, it freezes. Like, holy shit, I don't know what I'm seeing right now. He's processing information faster. So I'll go Fields. Now, if you don't want me to mention Fields, then I'd probably mention someone like, I don't know, David Montgomery in that category, Jalen Johnson. But at the end of the day, I still am very, very high on Justin Fields, no doubt about it. Super chat from Jamie. Do you think Cole Kmet and Jesper Horsted will be the 1-2 punch for tight end next year? I don't know, man. I like Jesper Horsted, but it's not like he's proven a ton, right? I mean, he was a preseason legend, and he had 1 touchdown against the Raiders. He was inactive this week. I can't remember if it was due to injury or not. It might have been injury. He might be banged up. But, yeah, I mean, it's not like he's some huge answer at tight end. So I think you could use another tight end there to answer that question. Bobby Ray, is there a way to get rid of Jackson without dealing with the cap hit? He's going to take up a lot of cap and isn't that good. Talking about Eddie Jackson, of course. Listen. Probably not. I mean, realistically, he's played okay this year. You're not going to get a lot in a trade for him. It's one of those, you're probably just stuck with him. I mean, that's at least for another year. After that, I think he can save you some money by getting rid of him, but you just got to hope he plays better. I just hope with some of these guys that haven't played as well, with the new coaching staff, they get re-energized. I think there's some truth to that happening. I think it's gotten stale in Chicago. I don't think these players believe in Matt Nagy at this point as a head coach. And when you lose belief in your coach, you got no shot. So I'm hoping that a new regime can get the best out of a guy like Eddie Jackson. Subscribe to the channel. We hope to get the best out of every single video, and that's what we strive for, at least. We don't always get there, but we're always trying to improve. We keep you guys up to date with the latest Bears news, rumors, updates, injury updates as well. So subscribe, youtube.com/BearsNow. And even though the Bears stink, we're still going live for every single game, including Monday Night Football against the Minnesota Vikings. Ethan Carp, trade Roquan, Mack, or Fields? Not Fields. I'm not trading Fields. If I had the power, I'd probably trade Mack over Roquan because he's older. But I'd have to get a lot for Roquan to trade him. I think he is the best young player on this defense. So I think to trade someone like that, unless you got multiple first-round picks. If I got 2 firsts for Roquan, I'd probably do it. But otherwise, I'm keeping Roquan Smith at the end of the day. Frank the Tank, dream free agent signing. Chris Godwin, hashtag Bears also love the show. Appreciate that. Godwin would be a big one. J.C. Jackson would be awesome. Devontae Adams, even though he's a freaking Packer, man, I would take that guy in a heartbeat. He's so good. He's just so good. It's annoying, but the guy's damn good. Godwin would be a good one, of course. Any of those guys. Those would all be good options. Izzy Salvador, Harbaugh, Day, or the Northwestern coach? I don't want Pat Fitzgerald. They've mentioned that in the past. Obviously, he knows Chicago, but I don't really want him. Harbaugh or Day, either way is fine. I like both guys. I'd probably lean Day because of the Fields connection, but if you told me they were going to hire Jim Harbaugh, I'd be in. Let's do it. Let's get Harbaugh in Chicago. How many more games will the Bears win this year? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Only 4 games left. How many more will Chicago win? Take a stab at it. Let me know what you guys think. The Bears will win the 2022 Super Bowl because, so he's asking me to fill in the blank. I would say because Justin Fields took a major leap, right? Like, you get a new coach in here. Justin Fields throws for 4,000 yards and 30 touchdowns, and this offense is top 5 or top 10. That would be why. I mean, you can't win in today's NFL without a really good quarterback. So, yeah, I think it would be because Justin Fields took a huge step into being an elite quarterback in this league.